officials begin to return home, there is need to plan for yet another one that will be hosted by Enugu State. Now let's get back to the rest of the program, and we are now into the French Open, the Grand Slam ongoing in Paris. Second seed Coco Gauff battled past Czech teenager Tereza Valentova with a straight set win in a scrappy French Open second round. Coco Gauff, the American, no doubt, is not new to the French Open. She was runner-up in 2022, but in this second round match, she wrapped it up with a 6-2, 6-4 victory over the Czech teenager.
Yeah, she had to dig deep, even despite the scrappy start, but she was able to, bounce back into that one to see off the teenager and move to the next round of the competition. We just hope that she can be able to replicate her 2022, impressive show where she got to the final. This time around, I think she will have a more difficult task because the world number one is still very much around blazing on. But then, Coco Gauff, she's a very reliable hand.
While the Czech teenager Tereza Valentova is out of the competition, the Russian teenager Mira Andreeva is into the third round because she took out her opponent, another from America, Ashlyn Krieger, in the straight set. The 18-year-old seed needed a 6-3, 6-4 win at the Cosimo Mathieu in just 73 minutes.
Impressive one for the teenager. Talking about Mira Andreeva, she's actually improving a lot. During the start of the season, you saw how she was able to win the Dubai Open, and then again went further to beat the world number one and world number two in some other competition out there. So I think it's a very young and talented player that we need to watch out for the future, because she's actually progressing, squaring up shoulder against some of the big names, not afraid to take on any player at all. So I think for Miria, the sky will just be her limit.
Yet in the female game, we saw Madison Keys send out Katie Butler. Butler is known as a lady with a shock, just a shock absorber, but in this instance, she couldn't send out very known, of course, tennis player in Madison Keys from the United States of America.
It was a 50-50 game between Katie Butler and Madison Keys ahead of that game, so I just expected it to be a very tough game for both players.
6-1, 6-3, that would look so easy for Madison Keys.
Yes, I expected it to be a very difficult one for both teams, but then the way Madison Keys was able to blaze past her opponent, make it look more like an easy game for her. Let's see what she can do in the next round of the competition. It's just that my fear is that most times most of these British players, when you expect a lot from them, they just falter. But this time around, they have about 2 or 3, both in the female and male category, advancing forward. The first time in 1980 something. So let's just see how they progress through.
Mama Victoria Azarenka is out of the competition. She was taken out by Sofia Kenin, yet another established name in female tennis. 6-4, 6-3, that one ended.
Yeah, impressive show for her. Established name, you want to say, but these days, names don't just play the game. If you don't prepare very well against your opponent, especially from these lowly ranked players that are ranked 100, 200, 300 and something, they would definitely disgrace you.
Well, let's hope that Victoria Azarenka will get back again. He's had to take time to raise family and all of that, but now she has to learn the ropes again. There's still 2 more Grand Slams in the course of the year. She has other preparatory tournaments as well. Now let's go to the male and action. We've seen Yannick Sinner show that he is still no doubt the world number 1 in tennis.
Yeah, for Yannick Sinner, the Italian, is not showing any sign of slacking down at all. Even after that 3-month doping ban, he still came back and got to the final of the last competition before even this French Open, and he's been doing very well, holding his own. But then he still have a long way to
again
go.
Richard Gasquet, it was 6-3, 6-love, 6-4, all straight set win for the world number 1. Richard Gasquet, no doubt, at least was expected to take a set.
Yeah, but not against a very dogged Yannick Sinner who doesn't give his opponent any chance at all. He doesn't joke with you. Whenever he's on the court, it's for business and solely for business. He's ready to dispatch you within the fewest of minutes out there, and that is why Richard Gasquet finds it very difficult to cope, especially with the backhand and the serves of the world #1.
Still looking around for results in the male category at the ongoing French Open. Jack Draper ensured that there will be 3 British men in the French Open third round for the first time since 1968 by seeing off home favorite Gabe Monfils in a memorable late-night thriller. The Parisian crowd winning saw the 38-year-old Gabe Monfils being sent out by a scoreline of 6-3, 4-6, 6-3, 7-5 at the Court Philippe Chantier in the early hours of this morning. The British, is their tennis improving? 3 in the third round, 3 of the players?
I won't totally say that their tennis is improving. Since the last time they got to this stage is about 50-something years or 60-something years, 1960-something years ago, and this is the first time they are having 3. Go.
Maybe they are lucky because of the injury to Ugo Hubbard, who had a fall, and who ensured that Fenley, who is just age 23, qualified for the third round as well.
Yeah, I think the next round will clearly tell if they have improved or not.
Keep our fingers crossed and see how the British perform as we speak. For the first time since 1968, 3 British players are into the third round of the French Open. Still looking at results for the male category. Novak Djokovic continue to look for his elusive number 25. He is now into the third round after winning last night.
I expected that he should pull through. He's chasing a record for himself, and that is a very big motivation for him going forward. So I expect him to continue to chase this very record, because if he gets to win this very one, it's going to be a very massive feat in the history of tennis. And for him personally, who he has already written his name in the annal of history already because of his achievement thus far, but then there's still more room for him to break more grounds.
Novak Djokovic sending out yet another homeboy, Corentin Moutet, 6-3, 6-2, 7-6 in the early hours of this morning, and we just hope he can push his way. We want to see that record number 25 for him in Grand Slam titles, but I think it's still at least 3 more games to the final. Interesting ongoing actions at the French Open, but there's been a little bit of controversy. Africa's Onjebo, remember the Tunisian that have already crashed out of the competition, is complaining that the ladies are not being given the first matches at night. We understand in the history of the French Open, only 2 matches have been played out of an available 38, at night, and women played only 2, and they are beginning to complain that the timing for their matches do not allow for crowd, that's a large number, to watch their games. Can the organizers listen to what the ladies are saying? It's not only Anjaba, Coco Gauff as well is putting a voice to the fact that females need to play at night about 8 p.m. when more people will be watching than maybe playing the second game, which is from about 11 p.m. when most people want to go back home and prepare for the next day's business.
I think for me, it's a very cogent and acceptable reason given by them, because when you have large number of crowds, I think it gives the players extra motivation to want to perform at their highest level. But for Onjebo, that is not to say that it's going to be a major excuse for her failure thus far, but then, like I said, it's still a very cogent and acceptable reason that the organizers need to think on how to at least shift some of their game down to 7:30 to 8 o'clock, when you at least you see sizable number of a crowd in the stadium to cheer them. So I think I agree with them.